All right, let's get started. We start with the most infamous political ad in history. September 7th, 1964, NBC's Monday Night Movie. A 3-year-old girl picks petals from a daisy in what looks like a field but was actually filmed in a Manhattan park. She counts 1, 2, 3. Then a sinister male voice takes over. 10, 9, 8. Boom. Nuclear explosion. The message? Vote for LBJ or Barry Goldwater will end the world.
Cigarette commercials, the final puff. January 2nd, 1971. The day America's airways went smoke-free forever. After decades of doctors literally recommending cigarettes, Congress banned all tobacco ads from TV and radio. The Marlboro Man rode into the sunset. Winston's catchy jingles went silent. Why the ban? Studies finally proved what everyone suspected. Cigarettes kill. The tobacco industry fought hard, spending millions on lobbying, but the writing was on the wall. Or should I say, the lung cancer was in the x-rays. Last cigarette commercial ever? A Virginia Slims ad that aired at 11:59 p.m. on New Year's Day, 1971. You've come a long way, baby. Straight to the graveyard.
Silent Night, Deadly Night, Santa Goes Slasher, 1984. By the time Silent Night, Deadly Night hit theaters in 1984, the slasher craze was already starting to lose steam. After filming wrapped later that year, the Catholic Conference gathered in New York to review upcoming holiday releases. Movies like A Nightmare on Elm Street were slapped with an O rating for offensive, but Silent Night, Deadly Night was branded something far worse, an outright disgrace to the slasher genre. The marketing didn't help either. Trailers aired during family-friendly programs like Little House on the Prairie, fueling outrage and giving protesters more ammunition. Censorship boards had already turned against the film, and within 2 weeks of release, it was yanked from cinemas. Parents picketed theaters, furious at the idea of Santa Claus being portrayed as a murderer. In Urea, the mayor himself rallied locals, even donning a Santa suit to deliver a petition signed by 2,000 residents demanding screenings be shut down. Across the Atlantic, UK censors had already blocked many Italian and American video nasties from theaters. Still, bootleg VHS copies of Silent Night, Deadly Night circulated underground, quickly becoming prized treasures for hardcore horror fans. Holiday horror wasn't new. Classics like Black Christmas and Silent Night, Bloody Night had already explored the darker side of the season. But Silent Night, Deadly Night seemed to push the envelope just a bit too far. The movie grossed $2.4 million in its opening weekend, but suffered a 45% drop the following week before being pulled. When protests eventually cooled off, the film was re-released in May 1985, this time with every trace of Killer Santa scrubbed from its promotional material.
PETA's controversial Super Bowl ads. The animal rights nonprofit People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, PETA, was once ready to drop nearly $2.9 million for a Super Bowl spot that would reach roughly 100 million viewers. But in January 2009, NBC rejected the group's already produced commercial, which promoted vegetarianism. The network claimed the ad crossed its limits on sexual content. Among the footage NBC flagged were shots of a woman sensually licking a pumpkin and eggplant, followed by scenes of her pleasuring herself with asparagus and broccoli. Fast forward 7 years, and PETA faced another rejection. This time, the proposed ad was titled Last Longer. The commercial featured 2 couples in intimate situations, one with a meat eater, the other with a vegan. The meat eater fizzles out quickly, suggesting poor stamina, while the vegan partner impressively keeps going. Broadcasters again refused to air it, saying the spot was far too sexually explicit for television.
The depressed robot car commercial. In 2007, General Motors used the Super Bowl to promote its new extended warranty program with a commercial centered on a fictional factory robot. After making a mistake on the assembly line, the robot is fired and drifts through a series of odd jobs, from flipping signs on the street to working at a fast food drive-thru. Devastated by losing its role at GM, it eventually leaps off a bridge in despair. The ad closes with the line, "GM's 100,000-mile warranty. It's got everyone obsessed with quality." The twist reveals it was all just the robot's nightmare, but the imagery drew immediate backlash.
The American Foundation for Suicide Prevention condemned the spot, arguing it trivialized a deeply serious issue and was insensitive to people affected by suicide. GM responded quickly, pulling the original ad from TV and online and releasing an edited version with the scene removed.
Smart Beep's blind date disaster, 1999. Back in the 1990s, beepers were a common sight, though they've long since faded from popularity. In 1999, Smart Beep, a company offering low-cost paging services, created a Super Bowl commercial called Blind Date. The comedic ad was designed to show a dumb moment contrasted with the smart choice of owning a beeper. In the spot, a man walks his date to the car. While alone, she loudly passes gas, unaware that two people are already seated in the back. When the man opens the driver's side door and introduces his date to the passengers, the embarrassing moment is revealed. Fox, which broadcast that year's Super Bowl, reviewed the ad, but ultimately refused to air it, deciding the flatulence gag was too inappropriate for television. A financial planning ad featuring a future presidential assassin. In 2022, BlackRock Inc., a financial services company, filmed a commercial at a Pittsburgh area high school to promote its management of pension plans for public school teachers. The ad followed economics teacher Brian DeLallo at Bethel Park High School as he spoke about financial preparedness while interacting with students. Among those briefly shown was a young man in a hooded sweatshirt and glasses. That student was later identified as Thomas Matthew Crooks, who in July 2024 was killed by Secret Service agents after attempting to assassinate former President Donald Trump at a campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. 2 days after the incident, BlackRock pulled the 2-year-old ad from all platforms. In a public statement, the company explained Crooks's presence. In 2022, we ran an ad featuring a teacher from Bethel Park High School, in which several unpaid students briefly appeared in the background, including Thomas Matthew Crooks. We will make all video footage available to the appropriate authorities, and we have removed the video from circulation out of respect for the victims.
Kendall Jenner's Pepsi ad. On April 4, 2017, Pepsi released a commercial featuring Kendall Jenner, the reality TV star, model, and social media figure from the Kardashian family. Rather than showing Jenner simply enjoying a soda, the ad was set at a vague protest in a large city where young demonstrators carried signs promoting dialogue and change while facing stern police officers. As tension seemed ready to escalate, Jenner stepped forward, handed a can of Pepsi to one of the officers, and the moment instantly diffused. The officer smiled, the crowd cheered, and the protest was portrayed as resolved. The commercial quickly went viral on YouTube, but was met with intense backlash. Critics argued that it borrowed imagery from Black Lives Matter and anti-police brutality demonstrations, trivializing serious social issues by implying they could be solved with a soft drink. Within a day, Pepsi pulled the ad from circulation and issued an apology. Pepsi was trying to project a global message of unity, peace, and understanding. Clearly, we missed the mark and apologize, the company said in a statement reported by the New York Times.
Just for Feet racist Olympics ad, 1999? The Just for Feet ad that caused a major controversy was a commercial that aired during Super Bowl 33 in 1999. Not specifically an Olympics ad, although it featured a runner. The commercial, produced by Saatchi & Saatchi, was widely criticized for its racist overtones and was described by critics as neo-colonialist and appallingly insensitive. The ad showed a group of Caucasian men in a Humvee tracking a barefoot Kenyan runner in the African bush. They catch him, sedate him with drug-laced water, and then force Nike shoes onto his feet while he is unconscious. When the runner wakes up, he screams, "No!" in distress, rejects the shoes, and struggles to shake them off while running away. The ad sparked a massive wave of complaints for its depiction of a black man being hunted and forced into wearing a product by white men, drawing parallels to cultural imperialism and racism. Just for Feet sued its advertising agency, Saatchi & Saatchi, for $10 million for professional malpractice, claiming the agency assured them the ad would be well received and that it severely damaged the company's reputation. The lawsuit was later dropped as Just for Feet struggled with financial issues. Company fate, Just for Feet filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection later in 1999, partly due to broader accounting fraud issues that were uncovered and eventually went out of business.
That's all for now. If you enjoyed the video, stay tuned. I will be back soon with more.